Alright, so I'm going to show you guys how to make that bass line. That bass line soloed out sounds like this. And I'm going to tell you a couple things about it, and you will be surprised at how super easy this bass line is to make. I'm going to use Alchemy actually to try to make this bass line with Alchemy. I usually don't make this bass line with Alchemy, so I think it'll be pretty cool to make it with Alchemy for you guys, especially because not a lot of you have all nice third-party plugins. But that doesn't really mean anything. Alchemy will spit out a perfect sound if you use it correctly. There's nothing wrong with that plugin. So the notes I'm using are these notes. It is the same chord progression from Nanabe Rainbow Road. If you want to check that song out on Monster Cat, it's a pretty sick chord progression, and totally legal to use for everybody, because I just learned that chord progressions are not protectable. So using other people's chord progressions is actually pretty awesome, because you can make some pretty awesome dope tracks. So let's come into Alchemy here, and there's a bunch of bullshit going on when you open up Alchemy into the Advanced tab. So you want to come up here to File and Clear to get every parameter zeroed out, or at least defaulted out. So let's come into Oscillator A. I'm going to turn that volume down, and watch how easy it is to make this bass, because we're basically going to do like one small thing here. So far we get something that sounds like this. Let's actually come into here. Well, you don't have to do this. You can just write your melody or your bass line at a lower octave. But the best way to do this bass line, in my opinion, is to get the lowest possible notes that work. So if this works for you, if this note works for you guys, by all means use that note, because the lower the note with some kind of respace like this, the better result you're going to get. But to make this bass really messy, let's get our detune zeroed out real quick, and I'm going to stuff my unison up. So whichever synth you're using, Serum, Sylenth 1, Alchemy, you want to figure out how to boost that unison all the way up. So I'm going to boost my unison all the way up, and we're going to get that sound. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to detune it, and we get, whoops, and it's going to be a really, really messy sound. So let me actually just pull that unison down and see if I can do it with a little bit of less amount of unison, because the more unison you have, the messier it is, but that's also a nice result. But to get this bass line sounding like a nice low-end bass line, I'm actually going to use the EQ here and low pass it. And I want to tell you something really cool about this bass line that I've actually been kind of figuring out lately. They sound really, really awesome the more detuned you put them. So as detuned as you can get it before it starts sounding bad will be the best sounding respace, or whatever you want to call it. I call them respaces. And here's why. Because this bass is like 100% phase worthy. So this bass is going to phase, which means it's going to leak into the right ear and the left ear unevenly. And that sounds really bad with sub bass. So when you have your detune at a small rate, the phase is really, really elongated, I guess you could say, and really, really drawn out and prominent. So the phase doesn't sound good when the detune is really small. So what you want to do is stuff the detune so that the phasing is so fast and so messy, it's actually somewhat balanced in each ear. So the more you detune, the more balanced that phase is going to be with that sub bass, and the less detune you do, the more your phase is going to leak into one ear and then stay in that ear for a little while and then leak into the other ear, leak back to center, so on and so forth. So I like to detune them to 50% at least, and then even push it more. So if I put this up here to where I had it with Sylenth, you can see my detune is almost 50%. It's actually like a hair less than 50%, but the idea is stuff that detune to 50% at least, and of course, give yourself as much unison as possible to work with before the point of it sounding bad. So you're going to have to be the judge. And the point of it sounding bad could be like 8 voices in unison or 16 voices, whatever, and then just take voices off until it sounds good. So there you go. That is one of the most popular bass sounds you'll hear in the EDM genre, especially in the breaks. You won't hear this bass in a drop or anything like that. This is very, very subtle bass line, but can make wonders. So go ahead and make your dope Reese bass. Drop a like on this video if you took any value from it. Follow my new Instagram at AlexRomeSound, and of course subscribe to my channel. I would really, really, really appreciate that. My name is Alex Rome. Stay tuned for some more awesome stuff.